So that's that. And so we're going to start with families. Go to family, new. And we're going to start with a profile family. So if you guys remember this, we have looked at the door family here. Right? These are templates for building customizable Revit family objects. Now we're going to do a nested example. Families, new, profile family. Let's see. I have metric profile. Double click and open. It's going to be a bit back and forth today. So I may go back to the profile family, go back to one of these four that I'm talking about, and change some of the stuff. So what I ask you is to keep a file name for each of them, name them, and put them in the same folder on your desktop so that you keep it organized. Right? So you're going to have four Revit files that are linked to each other. So this is going to be where I design the 2D profile of my louver system, and it's going to be pretty simple. I'm going to start with a reference plane, going to do pick lines, enter some offset value. I think I opened the metric. I'm going to open a new one, the inch one. Just open this one. Yeah, this is in inches. So let's say my profile family, I'm going to start with 6 inches, 6-inch offset, and pick lines, and come in here and give 2 offsets for this, right? So the locked reference planes are where my origin is, right? So this point is pretty important for a profile family, because when you do a sweep, you will also have a construction plane associated to your sweep line, and that construction plane would be centered at this origin as well. And that's how you would align your profile with your family. Okay, so the relationship of your profile to this construction is pretty important. Now after you do this offset, come in again, make a secondary offset, reference plane, pick lines. Let's make this time 1 inch. First one was 6 inches. Let's do the second one, 1 inch. 1 inch. And I'm going to go down and go right. I'm not going to create annotations yet. I'm just starting with simple planes, construct geometry. So I have 2 sets of offsets. This is 1 inch. I could actually annotate them for you. This is 1 inch and this is 5 inches. Okay? And then I come in here, create line, and my subcategory is going to be profiles. And then I'm going to do, I'm going to start from here, go up, go right, go down, and basically close this guy. So I have a profile like this. Say what? Just line, yes. This is a profile family, so we have all the solid tools close to us, right? Because it's a 2-dimensional object we're creating. So just line. I'm going to save this guy. Go to your desktop. Create a folder. And rename this as parametric louver. And then save it here as profile. Save it. Okay, so the outline or the basic construction of the first family is done, basically. So we have a 2-dimensional object we're going to use. I'm going to minimize this. So go to Revit again. New family, English 1. and open up generic model. Okay. No, just generic model. Not adaptive, just generic model. I have wrote the names of the families on the board. Now here we are going to do reference plane again. I'm going to do pick lines, and let's give 1 foot. And I'm going to offset this 1 foot on both sides. Go to annotate, aligned. Let's make this equal. And then I'm going to give an overall dimension, which is going to be, let's call this, I'm going to make add parameter, and this is going to be width. And keep it as a family parameter and type parameter for now. Right, so similar to how we did the bookshelf. Now I'm going to come to create, and I'm going to choose sweep, solid sweep. Creates a 2D shape by sweeping a 2D profile along a path. I'm going to choose that. Now I have two options. I'm going to sketch a path or a pick path. Pick path, basically you can use the outline of an existing geometry. In this case, pretty much what the preview shows you, you can choose the outline of a wall if you want to build this directly in your project. But I'm going to do sketch path. This is more of a generic object. And my path is going to be from this point to this point. And what you're seeing now is basically the magenta line is the path, and it shows you the alignment of the construction plane on it, right? So if you remember what I had for the profile family, that axis is going to be lined up here when I use it for the sweep. So I'm going to check to the path. Now my profile is active, and it's asking me to choose a profile. You can actually, if you do by sketch and do edit profile, you'll be able to draft here any type of profile you want. But for us, we want to actually load a profile. So we want to bring in something. So click on load profile, go to your desktop, choose the parametric gluer, and choose the profile you have. And hit open. Go to load profile, desktop, parametric gluer, profile. We started with the profile family. Now I'm using it to link it to my sweep. Revit also has built-in profiles, like some aluminum profiles, L shape, U shape. You can also bring them in. If you go to profiles, framing, steel, you can also use these shapes, right? There are all these steel profiles, but I want you to create your own so that you can also see how it works. There's curtain wall profiles like these for the mullions. We have cornice profiles as well. Right, so basically if I load one of these, that will be used for the sweep extrusion. Now after you load it, if you go to the profile, your profile is here as an option. So you can choose that, and it will be placed in relationship to the sweep line. And then if I hit check, I'll get a simple extrusion. Say what? We already loaded it, right? Yes, we did. And now after I created it, I'm going to go here, and then I'm going to do a line. Yes. Let's see. If you go edit sweep, select profile, there's an angle here. You can rotate it if you want under the properties. Say what? Length? Yes, I did. I basically created the kind of an offset on the plan and gave it a parameter for this family, which is width. Right? But the other thing I want to do is make sure that this family stretches along with that dimension, right? So if I go to type properties and change this width, I want to make sure that the sweep follows that that stretching. Okay, make sure that this works before you're done with this family. So if you have gone to this stage, hit save and name it as sweep. Say it again. Yes, good question. It actually doesn't matter. We'll be able to flip it anyway. You'll be able to change the direction after you use it as an element. So you'll be able to like make it face this way or that way. Okay? And his question was rotation. You can also rotate the alignment of the profile. Right? Yes. So my sweep line is a straight line and my profile is aligned like this. So it's perpendicular. And the way I draw my profile is basically giving my shape, right? Defining my shape. So when I'm done with this, I named it as sweep and saved it in the same folder. Now, I'm going to minimize this as well. If you want, go to view, do close hidden, so that each of the files we have been working with has only one window. And I'm going to create a new one. So go to new, family, and this one is going to be line-based family. Generic model line-based. That's this guy. Now there's a reason why I'm doing all these steps, because that's the way parametric families work. If you want to create control the number of divisions in an array, you have to make a component for one louver and then use it as an array and then be able to control the number of elements. You cannot just build all of it in one file, in one generic model. It somehow doesn't work. And this is kind of how professionals go about constructing it as well. So if you want to build a profile, then you can use it to make a component, and then you can load the component into a line-based family and use it as an array. Okay? I may actually be able to use just the generic model. But I think it will be also interesting to work with line-based family, because you can also define the direction you want to use the component, right? You can make it vertical or horizontal in that case. So you will have that option. So I'm going to open a generic model line-based family. And there's something special about this family, which is it already comes in with its built-in parameter, which is this length. And this line defines the length of the component, right? So I'm going to basically bring in my sweep here and lock it to one of these axes and use this parameter to feed into the width parameter we defined for that sweep, right? So I'm going to link those two parameters to each other. So I'm going to go to create component. So it says no component is load. Would you like load 1? I'm going to say yes. Go to your desktop, parametric louver, sweep. Now I'll be able to place the sweep here. So just place it somewhere. If I go to 3D, this is the line that defines this line-based family, and this is the component I'm going to use, right? I'm going to go to reference level. Now here's the trick. I'm going to do align. I'm going to align this side, this locked side of the family, to this side of my component and lock that relationship. And I'm going to do the same thing to this edge of the component as well. So it's this corner is basically locked in place. Now if you try to do the same on the other side, you will get an error. It will say constraints are not satisfied. It's because this line-based family is using this parameter to flex, But this is a component that has its own width parameter, right? The one that we designed in this family. And if you go to edit type, that width parameter is here. Right? Pretty much like how you were bringing in your shelf unit to your project and then see some of its built-in parameters and be able to like override them. You can see this parameter here. Now, the issue is, of course, we want to link this length to the width of that parameter, right? And the way to do that would be to go to the parameter of the sweep, and then click here, associate family parameter, and then choose the length parameter, and then hit OK. Now it will directly read the length of the line-based family, and then use it to override its own internal width parameter. And then if I hit apply, hit OK. Now I'm actually flexing this length, and what it's doing is it's influencing the width parameter of the sweep as well. Alright? Say what? Link part? So you want me to delete the component and do it again? Oh, the link part, sure. So choose the component, go to edit type, and now width, we want to associate it to click here to this button, associate family parameter, and then choose the length. Right? So you may have multiple parameters inside a family, like width, height, rotation, thickness, and you may want to actually link them in another family where you're using that profile. This is the way to associate them, so that you can bring in those values into one system, right? And they will be corresponding to each other. Yes? Now after I'm done, make your flex and make sure that this is flexing. Then save it again and call this louver. I'm going to hit save. Yeah. I'm going to go to again, file, new, family. Open up curtain wall panel. Curtain wall panel family. Double click. Now, if you guys remember when we were doing curtain walls, we were able to give like divisions, define divisions, and turn the division lines into mullions, as well as load curtain wall doors to some of the panels, or make them solid, right? So this is where you can create your own curtain wall panel family, and then use it to be applied to your curtain wall system as well. So you can actually do a lot of stuff with this. You can create it as like a secondary skin, and make it like corrugated panels or some other type of panels. Maybe they're extruded as well, so you can replicate its properties here too. Now what I'm going to do is go to maybe the exterior view and define overall values here for the curtain wall family. So these are going to be this is kind of the boundary of a panel for the curtain wall, right? So this is top, and these are the two sides. Let me see if there are parameters already. There is no width, height, so I guess we don't need them. So let's see. Go to reference level again. Now I'm going to go to create component. I'm going to load this time not the sweep, but the line-based family. Hermetic louver, and select louver, which was line-based family, and hit open. Now choose place on work plane, which is the current reference level that I'm working on. And to place this component, you need to draw a line, because it's a line-based family, right? And it's going to ask you to define what that line is. So if I draw it here horizontally, it's going to be a horizontal louver system. If I go to the exterior view and draw it vertically, it's going to be a vertical louver system, because the line defines which direction that component is aligned or placed. So I'm going to start with the horizontal one first. So I'll do the component again, place on work plane, and draw this line. Let's see what it did. So my louver is here. It's actually, I drew the line here, but it's under my view range, so I didn't see it. But it doesn't matter. You can bring it up here, type in move, and bring it up here so that the bottom line of your line-based louver is lined up with your reference level. You could also do an alignment. So I can move this up, type in AL for a line, choose this line, and choose the bottom line of my profile and lock that relationship. Now we don't have any flexing yet, so what I'm going to do is type in a line, lock this relationship, and lock this relationship as well, so the line-based family can stretch, which is pretty nice. So if you lock on both sides, you'll be able to stretch this guy too. So that's what it looks like from the side view. This is exterior, this is my single line-based louver. Okay? Say what? Just use the line tool. Go to reference level. Type in, I'll do it again. Type in AL for a line. Choose the reference line. Then choose the geometry line. Lock it. And do it for both sides. Then make sure when you flex it, it flexes. Right, so now I'm going to come to, let's say, an elevation view. Let's say the left elevation. I'm going to choose the profile and then go to array, which creates a linear array of elements. And I'm going to enable group and associate. Let's do move to last. I think it was the last. Let's see if this works, otherwise it may have to be this one. Did you choose place on work plane? Yeah. Yeah. You want me to do it again? Bring it in again? So go to array, choose the louver, choose move to last, and enter number 2 for now. Choose this point, and then place it somewhere here. And you can enter any value. Let's enter 5 for now, so we get 5 louvers. Now what I want to do is I want this top line of this louver family to be lined up with the top line of my panel family. I'm going to do align again, choose this line, and then choose this line and lock that relationship. So when I flex, the array flexes as well. Okay? Now here is a trick. If you choose the array and choose this number, the number of elements in the array, you can also define it as a parameter. If you go to label and do add parameter, you can define it as a number of louvers as a parameter. I'm going to keep it as type parameter for now, because I want to show you what we have built or how does it work, and then start customizing it, right? So we're going to then switch this to be an instance parameter, maybe associated to some formula, so it's like automatically driven by the width or height of the loop of the panel we are going to place in. So, but first let's start with this and see if our family is behaving correctly. So choose the number in the array, and then hit the label, add parameter, give it a name, number of louvers, and define it as a family type parameter. Hit OK. Now, similar to the previous example we did, if you go to family types, the number of louvers is now an integer parameter here. So if I change it, let's see, this, yeah, the preview didn't work, but it actually works, right? So you'll be able to control the number of louvers by changing this value. Right? So I'm going to save this guy now and call it louver system. And I'm going to stop there. Okay, so come in here, new family, generic model Linebased again, and here create a sweep directly here with a built-in profile. Right, so you could do a sweep, you could do pick path and pick the line of the Linebased family as your path, hit check, and then when it asks you for a profile, you can either load one of those built-in cornice profiles or steel profiles, or go to edit profile, and it will ask you to choose an elevation view or some view where you will draft it. So you can do elevation left, and now come in here and draw it. Right, you could do it any way you want. And then hit check, check again. Now I directly input the profile for the extrusion, and now it uses the length or the line of the Linebased family, and then it will be already snapped in. So I'm overriding all those steps that I did, right? I'm not going to be able to control my profile as I wanted to, maybe, or control the component. But you can also skip those steps, basically, and start with the third step, and then built in one for the vertical. And then use this guy. Let's call it, let's save this one as vertical louver. Open up a new curtain wall panel and draw a vertical line this time. Okay? And make a horizontal array. Alright, this is where I was. Let's open a project. So I go to Revit New Project. Actually, open. Where's my hotel? There it is. And what I'm going to do is go to, let's say, level 2. I'm going to choose this group. Go to edit group. And I'm going to add a new curtain wall. Make it curtain wall. I'm just going to draw a curtain wall here. And then when I go to edit type, your curtain wall panel the curtain panel, you want to be able to select the new guy you created here, but I don't see it yet because it's not loaded, right? So I'm going to go to architecture. No, let's do load family. Go to insert, load family. Or you could simply do, when your project is open, you can switch to the louver system you created and then choose load into project. Mine is here. So I'm going to do load into project. Choose the hotel as the project to load it into. Hit OK. Now when I choose the curtain wall panel, curtain wall system, go to edit type. Under curtain panel, I should see it there. So there's louver system, louver system. I can choose it as the facade system. And then hit apply. Hit OK. Now, let's see, I have an issue here I need to fix. I'm going to hit finish. Let's see where that guy is. So, it's here basically. So, we have an issue with the vertical alignment of the elements. So, I need to fix that. Okay. Let's go to edit group. So now you don't have to open the file separately. You can just select the family, and when you do edit family, you'll be directly prompted to the family file you created because they're all nested, right? And if I have an issue here with one of the internal parameters, I can choose that component, go to its family as well, because all of this structure is built in that way so that we can have control over addressing the problem as well as fixing it. So let's see. So when I do the horizontal stretching, do you guys see that? My vertical array doesn't behave the way I want it to. So probably my vertical array, there's an issue with it. So what I'm going to do is choose edit group. I could actually do the array again. So let's do that. So I do ungroup. I have one louver here. So make sure that this is stretching well. Then I'm going to choose this guy. Go to array again. I'm going to choose last. Choose this point. Put it there. Use 2 for now. So when I do horizontal stretching, it doesn't work. And let's try to line up the left side of the top panel to the reference panels, reference planes, and the top to the top. Okay, I think I know what the issue is. I'm going to do remove constraints. Okay, so now what I have to do is go to edit group, edit type, let's go to edit family, length. Let me see. Create component. This works. No, this is supposed to work. Say what? Well, it's working when before you do the array. So you do it without. So you mean like break these and then do the array and then lock them? No. Oh, to the group? It says cannot be edited. No, it shouldn't be. That shouldn't be necessary. Let me find a workaround, okay? No, I'm almost positive this is the way this works. It's just I'm missing some little glitch. So you have to fix it. So go back to your family, to this guy. I think what we need to do is connect the width of the panel to the length of the Linebased family, so that they are also linked somehow. Because don't forget, this width of the curtain panel is some generic value, right? It's defined by the curtain wall we're going to use, so we actually have no idea what this width is going to be. So my workaround was to define it as a parameter and use it to influence kind of the length or the size of these elements. So let's try to do this again. Let me see if I can go back. Edit group. So try doing this. If that works, we will do it for the Linebased family as well. Maybe we will do it for the vertical one. Bring in another component. Go to component, load family, and bring in the sweep instead of the louver. Okay? The sweep being the one that we defined first with a width parameter. If you remember, like we associated to the length of the Linebased family, just do the sweep and then place it to the view. Let's go again. Create component, sweep. And then what I want to do is again do the same alignment. I want to align the bottom of it to the reference line, lock this relationship, and go to the reference level. Now here's the trick. I want to align the left side of this to the panel, but if I do the alignment to the right side, it's going to give me an issue. Right now it's flexing. Let's keep it that way. Let's see if it's going to work. But just align one side. You don't have to align the other side. And let's see if this is going to work. And go to exterior. do the vertical array again, choose second, choose last, place it here, lock that relationship. Now let's try flexing it here. It's working fine. It works better with the sweep, not with the line-based family, and the reason is line-based family needs a parameter, and I'll show you how to do that as well. But just use the sweep for now and create a vertical array, and then come in here, choose this parameter again associated as the number of louvers, and keep flexing. Make sure that this is working. Every time you flex it horizontally or vertically, it works. Okay? So after this is done, load it into the project. I'm going to do override existing values, and that should replace the curtain wall panel. Now the advantage is, if I, let's say, go to level 1, let's create a new element somewhere, or let's open a new file quickly. I just want to show how we can use this. I'm just going to create a blank, like an empty project file, and then create a new curtain wall. You can draw the curtain wall. Now go to an elevation view where you can see the curtain wall. And then, if you remember how we did the curtain system, we were doing curtain grids, right? So curtain grids divide this facade into elements. You can do it vertically or horizontally. Now, each of these are a panel, are an individual panel. And I can either apply an overall curtain wall panel to all of them, or I can also apply a custom one to each individual. To apply one to all of them, I'm going to first bring in the louver system I created here, so I need to import it. So I go to Insert Load Family, and bring in the louver system, the one that I just updated. And then if I choose this curtain wall panel system, whatever the divisions are, go to Edit Type, Curtain Panel, choose my louver system, hit Apply, and hit OK. Now I'm seeing an issue here, right? So this is something I need to fix. Is this the same one I had here? Let's see. I have so many things open. Let's see, this guy. This guy's louver system. This is the same one actually, so it should work. Let's go back. Let's see, load into project and project 1. Okay, so it's fixed now. So that was the old one. When you import the new one, this guy works. And if I choose one of these panels, go to Edit Type, the number of louvers is a parameter available to me there. So I can also control it here. If I enter 15, hit Apply, I can change the density of these. Now, if I want to change the densities of individual elements, I need to change the definition of that number of louvers parameter, because it's a type parameter. If I change to one panel, it's going to affect all the copies of the panel, right? So if I want to change that, I need to turn it into an instance parameter. So I can choose one of these panels, go to Edit Family, go to Type Properties, choose the parameter, modify. Rather than using this as a family parameter, type parameter, I can turn it to be an instance parameter. So now I have the control over changing what that value is for each panel, because I'm defining it as an instance parameter. I'm going to hit OK, hit Apply, hit OK, load it into project 1. So it's going to ask me if I want to override the parameters. I'm going to hit yes. Now if I come in here, choose this guy, I can make this to be 15. It will only change the value for that panel because it's an instance parameter now, right? I can choose this guy. I can make it 12. And I can customize it this way as well, even keep it consistent, right? So you can think of it like it doesn't work, like it doesn't look the best way when these things are lined up horizontally, but it will work better when they're vertical, right? So you can create custom densities along a wall with vertical divisions, right? That's kind of the essence of it. So I'll do what I did one more time. Go back to your louver system family, and when you bring in a component, don't bring in the line-based family. For now, bring in the generic model we did, right? The simple extrusion, the simple sweep, and then place it. Let's do it again. I'll do it one more time. So bring in create component, sweep, go to reference level, insert it here. Open up a facade view and line it up above the reference level. So I'm going to now use the align tool. I'm going to align the bottom profile of it to the bottom of my panel. Left side is aligned to the left side. Now that should be enough for it to stretch. And then the next thing is to create the array. So I go to array again, choose this guy, choose array. Place it here. Now make sure that when you stretch it, when you flex it, it flexes correctly, so the top one is aligned fine. The left side looks good, but I'm going to still align it here. And then I choose the array number and define it as use the parameter I defined. Now I should be able to flex it again. Now it's flexing well. Okay? And then load it into the project as is. We have only one parameter for this family. And I just created a new project file. I'm loading it into that. I'm going to override the existing values. And basically, when the number of louvers was a type parameter, whatever value you enter for one of these panels, it's applied to the project, to the whole project. So all these panels will use that value for the number of louvers. But what I did was I went back to the family, went back to the definition of that parameter under type properties, and went to modify and turn it from a type parameter to instance parameter so that I can customize it per panel, right? That's the difference between type and instance, because type is applied to all the copies of that family, but instance allows you to customize individual objects. Okay, I'm going to close that, and that should be okay. Now basically, if I'm working on the project, I can come in here, maybe this guy, let's go to one of my levels. I can create a secondary curtain wall panel system here in front of the unit, right? Add it to the group. So I go to edit group, draw this curtain wall, edit type, choose the curtain wall panel as my louver system. Now, maybe I want this to have, let's see, I need to choose the panel. Now this may not have been updated, so let's see, let's make 15 here, hit apply, hit OK. I'm going to hit finish. So I'm going to add that louver and the curtain wall system to that group. If I go to 3D, all the other copies of that unit are going to use that as an additional element, right? Now I'm going to create a second one, another one. So I go to, let's say, level 2. I choose this unit this time. Go to edit group. I'm going to create another curtain wall. Let's say this guy comes out, comes in again. and it's going to flip. Well, let's delete these two. Let's flip this one. Now, I didn't update the version here, so I think the number of lowers is still a type property. That's why even if I come in here, choose this curtain wall system, go to edit type and change this value, the other units have changed as well. This is not an instance parameter here. So what I'm going to do is bring in the updated version and override the parameters. So I go back to my louver family. I'm going to close this. This is the sweep. I'm going to close it. This is the Linebased family, profile family. I'm closing them all. This is the louver system. I'm going to load into the project and override the existing version and its parameter values. So now if I go to the 3D view and choose this unit, edit group, choose the facade system, choose the curtain wall panel. Now the parameter that was under edit type, which was a type property, is promoted here. Now it's an instance parameter, so I can enter a different value here and hit apply, and it will only take effect to this guy, to this group. Right? So the other one that uses a different parameter will stay as is. So I can customize that parameter. Now this is just one parameter, right? I can have 3 or 4 parameters per family. We're going to do more complex examples, but that's kind of the essence of using these. And what I did today was kind of a simple example where there are like 2 or 3 things that are nested to each other, and you can use them. Someone was asking me the same thing. So go to the family again. Go to the family again. Go to exterior. I have a parameter here set for the curtain wall width. And then when you choose one of these components, it's similar to what we did with the Linebased family, right? Edit type, that width of the family is linked to that parameter. But here's the trick. This W, try it as a type parameter, see if it works. If it doesn't, you may have to define this as a reporting parameter. So the difference with that is, if I go to modify, the instance reporting parameter makes that into a floating value that is read from the file itself. So whatever that width is for the panel in the project, that will be that value. So that if you look at the definition, it says can be used to extract value from a geometric condition and report in a formula or as a scheduled parameter. That's basically what that is. So this W, although I'm defining it as something, I won't be able to control it in the family. It will be read from the curtain wall panel division, right? So it will be extracted as a value, and I will use it directly to override the width of individual components here. So I go to edit here, edit type, and hit this link again, associate family parameter, and choose that family reporting parameter. So now this width will be linked to that. So whatever this value is, because we don't know what this value is going to be when we divide the facade, it's going to override the width parameter of each component. Okay?